there was a proposal in last year and this year on ways to improve MPS, Milwaukee Public Schools. One of them was a change in governance structure, change to mayoral control. How did you feel about that proposal? And do you think there is a state role in turning MPS around?
Yeah, I'd like to see the state get out of it. That's what I would like to do. I don't see.
Get out of it how?
Well, first of all, the takeover was ridiculous. It was an embarrassment, and I talked to a lot of black men about that. I say, okay, you've got now white people again, and again, they're cultural sensitivities, and if we don't understand that, we're missing everything. So now you have, I say, let's take 10 black men out of here and let's try and take over Wausau's school system. I said, we'd all be tarred and feathered and pulled back. And there were certainly a lot of protestations at that time, and a lot of people in the black community and other people, came together at that time. But still, a lot of black men are silent on the issue. And I said, you don't know what's happening to you. You don't know how the state is causing ruination on you. And a lot of them, I suppose, do know it, but they always say, what can I do? So it's absolutely insane and excuse me, probably lack of better vocabulary, but terrible for the one institution in the state of Wisconsin that black people have some hegemony over, in a way, that now we're taking that away. Sometime you consider yourself, you built a shack in your backyard. It's probably, maybe you're not a carpenter and doesn't look too good, but that's your shack. Pride comes from ownership of and making something, and while MPS has problems, and two of my children, by the way, attended MPS, and my first wife taught there for many years, so I've got some understanding. It's something that needs to be, worked from within and not taken over. And again, I have a tendency in myself to say, you're not fixing it, I'll do it. Obviously, running for governor probably fits that mold a little bit, but that was a terrible attempt at, and I don't.
So it doesn't get fixed from without. How do you fix it from within?
Jobs for black men. When black men are successful, and again, this is a longer term approach. This isn't a short term answer. A lot of these black men who the white liberal wants to help will not participate in this. There will be maybe a tremendous amount of backlash against some of these ideas. And I have no problem at the same time saying there is money being spent in the central city, but it's going to the moms and the children. And that's part of the education issue. What is going to black men? What money comes out of the state of Wisconsin and goes to black men? There are programs, I'm sure there's some small programs for black men, but you look at the education budget, and it basically goes to the moms and the children. And black men, again, are left out of the picture. And so when black men are working and participate in their children's education, that is going to help. You want to know about the budget deficit. The budget deficit can go away in a minute with the money that we're spending on poverty programs here. Reduce that to a degree. The criminal justice system, which is a disaster, and also in jobs. The jobs period will improve. And think of the imagination, the intelligence, the lost perspective of these tens of thousands of black men. Let's put another group, let's put Italian Americans and underemploy them by 50%, 60%. We'd be up in arms, but because they're black, we go home and let it go. So it's got to be, that's why there's got to be a change in how we view our state. And diversity has to be made a better, we have to be more diverse and consider ourselves more diverse and look harder at it. And there's something I want to go into too, which I debated long and hard about whether to talk about this, even off the record, on the record. But So I will leave the discretion up to,
Well, it's on the record because it's on videotape.
well, there you go. Then I'll leave it up to you how you cover it, since no one watches these videos, I guess. But my oldest son, who's 27, is traveled our criminal justice system and not as a employee. And when I talk to a lot of poor black people, I say, you're looking at the only person who has an understanding what it's like to have a door slammed behind you, have your kid taken away in handcuffs. And so my son at 27 is on the sex registry list. I don't know if it's till he's 40 or till he's dead. And so I go through that pain and suffering of seeing my son's face on the registry, and the amount of people that we have put in prison. And again, let's take sex offenders off the table. Let's talk about drug offenses. Our state is a disaster, and the state of Wisconsin, I've seen it happen to my son. I've seen them pretty much remove his what they call frontal lobotomy, and it's done through a very clinical, clean way of doing it, which is putting someone in a cell, and he has spent months and probably a year in solitary due to his own actions. I'm not denying that, but what we do in our state is and right now he is non-compliant. There were 4 police officers that came to my work looking for my son. I don't know where he is right now, and I told his parole officer, I don't know, I'm not in contact with him at this moment, so I don't know where he is. So I've seen the state of Wisconsin, what we think we're doing well for. Again, he went in with problems, I'm not going to deny that, but we take people and we can destroy their mentality and their psychology and then release them out into the community. And I see these people now when I walk the streets, and now we're going to employ these people. So the criminal justice system will be one of the areas that I have in my sights that I want to really